Hi, welcome back to Bread. We're on day 42 of Bible reading every day, Adjust Direction. I do hope that you are finding that in your life, along with you doing this, that things that you're already starting to see a change. You're already seeing a direction in your life changing, being adjusted to go a different direction of where God wants to take you. We're continuing in Numbers, which is a very fun book whenever you're reading the Numbers, but it's also an amazing book because there's we're getting all the details on everything, but just the Lord speaking to Moses and what he's saying. Some of what we're going to be reading today, we read I believe we read in Exodus. I believe we read some of it in Leviticus. But anyway, and even just yesterday, some of this that we're reading, and sometimes the Bible seems like it's repetitive. But if you're like me, sometimes we need that repetitive so that we really grasp it and understand it whenever we're having a story told to us. Anyway, so today we're going to begin in Numbers. So grab your Bibles, grab your highlighters, grab your pencils, your pens, your notepad, whatever it is that you want to grab so that you can make sure that you are highlighting your colored pencils, whatever it is. Mark these things in your Bible because there's going to be some things today that you are definitely going to want to mark in your Bible and you're going to want to take more note of. And tomorrow also. So just be ready, okay? All right, we're going to begin with Numbers chapter 7, offerings of dedication. On the day Moses set up the tabernacle, he anointed it and set it apart as holy. He also anointed and set apart all its furnishings and the altar with its utensils. Then the leaders of Israel, the tribal leaders who had registered the troops, came and brought their offerings. Together, they brought 6 large wagons and 12 oxen. There was a wagon for every 2 leaders, and an ox for each leader. They presented these to the Lord in front of the tabernacle. Then the Lord said to Moses, "Receive their gifts." I love that. "Receive their gifts and use these oxen and wagons for transporting the tabernacle. Distribute them among the Levites according to the work they have to do." So Moses took the wagons and oxen and presented them to the Levites. He gave 2 wagons and 4 oxen to the Gershonite division for their work, and he gave 4 wagons and 8 oxen to the Merarite division for their work. All their work was done under the leadership of Ithamar, son of Aaron the priest. But he gave none of the wagons or oxen to the Kohathite division, since they were required to carry the sacred objects of the tabernacle on their shoulders. See, they couldn't have the wagons, they couldn't have the oxen because they needed to bear the weight on their shoulders. It's kind of like sometimes we need to bear the weight on our shoulders of something that's going on in our lives. And remember that many of those things we bear the weight of are sacred, are holy, sacred to our family. There should be things that you have set up in your home with your family time with your children that are sacred and holy. And you bear the weight of that on your shoulders whenever something wants to get in the way of it. So remember that it is important that all of us have something that is very sacred and very holy, that we keep that, we dedicate that to the Lord. That is a time for our families, a time for us with God. The leaders also presented dedication gifts for the altar at the time it was anointed. They each placed their gifts before the altar. The Lord said to Moses, "Let one leader bring his gift each day for the dedication of the altar." On the first day, Nahshon, son of Amminadab, leader of the tribe of Judah, presented his offering. His offering consisted of a silver platter weighing 3 1/4 pounds and a silver basin weighing 1 3/4 pounds, as measured by the weight of the sanctuary shekel. These were both filled with grain offerings of choice flour, moistened with olive oil. He also brought a gold container weighing 4 ounces, which was filled with incense. He brought a young bull, a ram, and a 1-year-old male lamb for a burnt offering, and a male goat for a sin offering. For a peace offering, he brought 2 bulls, 5 rams, 5 male goats, 5 1-year-old male lambs. This was the offering brought by Nahshon, son of Amminadab. On the second day, Nathanael, son of Zuar, leader of the tribe of Issachar, presented his offering. His offering consisted of a silver platter weighing 3 1/4 pounds and a silver basin weighing 1 3/4 pounds, as measured by the weight of the sanctuary shekel. These were both filled with grain offerings of choice flour moistened with olive oil. He also brought a gold container weighing 4 ounces, which was filled with incense. He brought a young bull, a ram, and a 1-year-old male lamb for a burnt offering, and a male goat for a sin offering. For a peace offering, he brought 2 bulls, 5 rams, 5 male goats, and 5 1-year-old male lambs. This was the offering brought by Nathanael, son of Zuar. On the 3rd day, Eliab, son of Helon, leader of the tribe of Zebulun, presented his offering. His offering consisted of a silver platter weighing 3 1/4 pounds and a silver basin weighing 1 3/4 pounds, as measured by the weight of the sanctuary shekel. These were both filled with grain offerings of choice flour moistened with olive oil. He also brought a gold container weighing 4 ounces, which was filled with incense. He brought a young bull, a ram, and a 1-year-old male lamb for a burnt offering, and a male goat for a sin offering. For a peace offering, he brought 2 bulls, 5 rams, 5 male goats, and 5 1-year-old male lambs. This was the offering brought by Eliab, son of Helon. Now, why are the offerings the same? Because this is what was appointed for them to do. If you remember that we read earlier, that what would be the peace offerings, what would be the grain offerings, what would be the sacrifices. That there's a reason for all of this, and that's what they were to do. On the 4th day, Elizur, son of Shadur, leader of the tribe of Reuben, presented his offering. His offering consisted of a silver platter weighing 3 1/4 pounds and a silver basin weighing 1 3/4 pounds, as measured by the weight of the sanctuary shekel. These were both filled with grain offerings of choice flour moistened with olive oil. He also brought a gold container weighing 4 ounces, which was filled with incense. He brought a young bull, a ram, and a 1-year-old male lamb for a burnt offering, and a male goat for a sin offering. For a peace offering, he brought 2 bulls, 5 rams, 5 male goats, and 5 1-year-old male lambs. This was the offering brought by Elizur, son of Shadur. On the 5th day, Shelumiel, son of Zurishaddai, leader of the tribe of Simeon, presented his offering. His offering consisted of a silver platter weighing, 3 1/4 pounds, and a silver basin weighing 1 3/4 pounds, as measured by the weight of the sanctuary shekel. These were both filled with grain offerings of choice flour moistened with olive oil. He also brought a gold container weighing 4 ounces, which was filled with incense. He brought a young bull, a ram, and a 1-year-old male lamb for a burnt offering, and a male goat for a sin offering. For a peace offering, he brought 2 bulls, 5 rams, 5 male goats, and 5 1-year-old male lambs. This was the offering brought by Shelumiel, son of Zurishaddai. On the 6th day, Eliasaph, son of Deuel, leader of the tribe of Gad, presented his offering. His offering consisted of a silver platter weighing 3 1/4 pounds and a silver basin weighing 1 3/4 pounds, as measured by the weight of the sanctuary shekel. These were both filled with grain offerings of choice flour moistened with olive oil. He also brought a gold container weighing 4 ounces, which was filled with incense. He brought a young bull, a ram, and a 1-year-old male lamb for a burnt offering, and a male goat for a sin offering. For a peace offering, he brought 2 bulls, 5 rams, 5 male goats, and 5 1-year-old male lambs. This was the offering brought by Eliasaph, son of Deuel. It kind of reminds me that whenever we're reading this and we've read something a few times, and then it kind of becomes rote for us, or we get in a little bit of a pattern. And I often think about books, movies, different things whenever I'm reading the Bible, because I know a lot of what they get comes from the Bible. Many things, even names of characters, you'll find those in the Bible, and I'll go into that another time. But here, I can't help it. Maybe think about Dr. Seuss, because when you read the books to your kids, what do? And you're repeating something, and it becomes a little bit of a pattern, and you begin to understand it, and you begin to learn it more, and that's why it's set up like that. So God's actually giving us an opportunity here to understand something a little bit more. 5, 2, all of the measurements, all of the male oxen, the male lambs, the 1-year-old male lambs. There's a reason for all of it. On the 7th day, and there's more of a reason than what I'm saying, but this just helps us to kind of get it more in our thinking and our understanding of exactly that they're following this same pattern and what we're reading and why it's happening and why it's important. On the seventh day, Elishama, son of Amminahud, leader of the tribe of Ephraim, presented his offering. His offering consisted of a silver platter weighing 3 1/4 pounds and a silver basin weighing 1 3/4 pounds, as measured by the sanctuary shekel, the weight of the sanctuary shekel. These were both filled with grain offerings of choice flour moistened with olive oil. He also brought a gold container weighing 4 ounces, which was filled with incense. He brought a young bull, a ram, and a 1-year-old male lamb for a burnt offering and a male goat for a sin offering. For a peace offering, he brought 2 bulls, 5 rams, 5 male goats, and 5 1-year-old male lambs. This was the offering brought by Elishama, son of Ammihud. On the 8th day, Gamaliel, son of Pedazur, leader of the tribe of Manasseh, presented his offering. His offering consisted of a silver platter weighing 3 1/4 pounds and a silver basin weighing 1 3/4 pounds, as measured by the weight of the sanctuary shekel. By now you should be able to say this with me. These were both filled with grain offerings of choice flour moistened with olive oil. He also brought a gold container weighing 4 ounces, which was filled with incense. He brought a young bull, a ram, and a 1-year-old male lamb for a burnt offering and a male goat for a sin offering. For a peace offering, he brought 2 bulls, 5 rams, 5 male goats, and 5 1-year-old male lambs. This was the offering brought by Gamaliel, son of Pedazur. On the 9th day, Abidan, son of Gideoni, leader of the tribe of Benjamin, presented his offering. His offering consisted of a silver platter weighing 3 1/4 pounds and a silver basin weighing 1 3/4 pounds, as measured by the weight of the sanctuary shekel. These were both filled with grain offerings of choice flour moistened with olive oil. He also brought a gold container weighing 4 ounces, which was filled with incense. He brought a young bull, a ram, and a 1-year-old male lamb for a burnt offering and a male goat for a sin offering. For a peace offering, he brought 2 bulls, 5 rams, 5 male goats, and 5 1-year-old male lambs. This was the offering brought by Abidan, son of Gideoni. On the 10th day, Ahiezer, son of Ammishaddai, leader of the tribe of Dan, presented his offering. His offering consisted of a silver platter weighing 3 1/4 pounds and a silver basin weighing 1 3/4 pounds, as measured by the weight of the sanctuary shekel. These were both filled with grain offerings of choice flour moistened with olive oil. He also brought a gold container weighing 4 ounces, and which was filled with incense. He brought a young bull, a ram, and a 1-year-old male lamb for a burnt offering and a male goat for a sin offering. For a peace offering, he brought 2 bulls, 5 rams, 5 male goats, and 5 1-year-old male lambs. This was the offering brought by Ahiezer, son of Ammishaddai. On the 11th day, Pagiel, son of Okran, leader of the tribe of Asher, presented his offering. His offering consisted of a silver platter weighing 3 1/4 pounds and a silver basin weighing 1 3/4 pounds, as measured by the weight of the sanctuary shekel. These were both filled with grain offerings of choice flour, moistened with olive oil. He also brought a gold container weighing 4 ounces, which was filled with incense. He brought a young bull, a ram, and a 1-year-old male lamb for a burnt offering, and a male goat for a sin offering. For a peace offering, he brought 2 bulls, 5 rams, 5 male goats, 5 1-year-old male lambs. This was the offering brought by Pagiel, son of Okran. Now, how many tribes are there? And these are representing each of the tribes. So there's 12 tribes, so we have one more. On the 12th day, Ahira, son of Enan, leader of the tribe of Naphtali, presented his offering. His offering consisted of a silver platter weighing 3 1/4 pounds and a silver basin weighing 1 3/4 pounds, as measured by the weight of the sanctuary shekel. These were both filled with grain offerings of choice flour moistened with olive oil. He also brought a gold container weighing 4 ounces, which was filled with incense. He brought a young bull, a ram, and a 1-year-old male lamb for a burnt offering, and a male goat for a sin offering. For a peace offering, he brought 2 bulls, 5 rams, 5 male goats, and 5 1-year-old male lambs. This was the offering brought by Ahira, son of Enan. So this was the dedication offering brought by the leaders of Israel at the time the altar was anointed. 12 silver platters, 12 silver basins, and 12 gold incense containers. Each silver platter weighed 3 1/4 pounds, and each silver basin weighed 1 3/4 pounds. The total weight of the silver was 60 pounds, as measured by the weight of the sanctuary shekel. See how all of that came in to be something specific? Each of the 12 gold containers was filled with incense. Weighed 4 ounces, as measured by the weight of the sanctuary shekel. The total weight of the gold was 3 pounds. 12 young bulls, 12 rams, 12 one-year-old male lambs were donated for the burnt offerings along with their prescribed grain offerings. 12 male goats were brought for the sin offerings, 24 bulls, 60 rams, 60 male goats, and 60 one-year-old male lambs were donated for the peace offerings. This was the dedication offering for the altar after it was anointed. Whenever Moses went into the tabernacle to speak with the Lord, he heard the voice speaking to him from between the two cherubim above the ark's cover, the place of atonement that rests on the ark of the covenant. Let's read that again. Whenever Moses went into the tabernacle to speak with the Lord, he heard the voice speaking to him from between the two cherubim above that covenant. The Lord spoke to him from there. Chapter 8. This is preparing the lamps. The Lord said to Moses, "Give Aaron the following instructions. When you set up the 7 lamps in the lampstand, place them so their light shines forward in the lamp in front of the lampstand." So Aaron did this. He set up the 7 lamps so they reflected their light forward, just as the Lord had commanded Moses. The entire lampstand, from its base to its decorative blossoms, was made of beaten gold. It was built according to the exact design the Lord had shown Moses. And now we're going to talk about the Levites being dedicated, and there's so much of this that I especially love. Then the Lord said to Moses, "Now set the Levites apart from the rest of the people of Israel and make them ceremonially clean. Do this by sprinkling them with the water of purification, and have them shave their entire body and wash their clothing. Then they will be ceremonially clean. Have them bring a young bull and a grain offering of choice flour moistened with olive oil, along with a second young bull for a sin offering. Then assemble the whole community of Israel and present the Levites at the entrance of the tabernacle." And here's what I love, because I'm a preacher's kid. I'm a preacher's niece, I'm a preacher's grandkid, and I'm a preacher's sister, and I'm a preacher's sister-in-law. It's all in my family, and I love this because this is how I was raised, this is how they are ordained, this is how they are anointed. When you present the Levites before the Lord, and this is where it comes from, the people of Israel must lay their hands on them. This is the laying on of hands. Sometimes you don't understand why that is being done. It's right here. This is what the Lord said would have to be done. And as they're dedicating these priests to the Lord, to the work of the Lord, that Israelites had to come and lay their hands on them. Raising his hands, Aaron must then present the Levites to the Lord as a special offering from the people of Israel, thus dedicating them to the Lord's service. That's another thing. In church, we like to raise our hands to the Lord. And I know I've said this before, and I think possibly even with bread, I've said it. But the thing is, we like to raise our hands to the Lord in praise and in prayer. Now, some of you may think that's weird. Or maybe you don't do that in your church, or maybe you don't even go to church, or maybe you're not even familiar with the Bible and you're watching this, and I thank you. Please stick with us on this, okay? Please stick with us, because I know you're going to have a life-changing transformation. I challenge you on that, and you can challenge me back on it. But anyway, so we raise our hands in praise to the Lord. Well, here's the thing. You say, it's kind of weird. What are you doing at a concert? What do I see people do when they go to concerts? They're all like this. What do you do at those baseball games, those football games, and you're cheering them on and you raise your hands? I do it, and you raise your hands, and you're praising what's happening. Why would you not first and foremost raise your hands to God? Why would you not raise your hands in praise to the Lord? There's nothing to be ashamed of. Be proud of it. Be proud. Raise your hand. Show it off. Show off your praise to God. If you're going to cheer and show off at a game, you can cheer and show off to God. Okay, verse 12. Next, the Levites will lay their hands on the heads of the young bulls, present one as a sin offering and the other as a burnt offering to the Lord, to purify the Levites and make them right with the Lord. Then have the Levites stand in front of Aaron and his sons and raise your hands and present them as a special offering to the Lord. Again, raise your hands. In this way, you will set the Levites apart from the rest of the people of Israel, and the Levites will belong to me. After this, they may go into the tabernacle to do their work, because you have purified them and presented them as a special offering. Of all the people of Israel, the Levites are reserved for me. I have claimed them for myself in place of all the firstborn sons of the Israelites. I have claimed them for myself. The Lord has claimed the Levites He has claimed them for himself. These are his chosen. These are those that are going to go out and they're going to minister to the people. I have claimed them for myself. I have taken the Levites as their substitute. Let me reread that. I have claimed them for myself in place of all the firstborn sons of the Israelites. I have taken the Levites as their substitutes, for all the firstborn males among the people of Israel are mine, both of people and of animals. I set them apart for myself on the day I struck down all the firstborn sons of the Egyptians. Yes, I have claimed the Levites in place of all the firstborn sons of Israel. And of all the Israelites, I have assigned the Levites to Aaron and his sons. They will serve in the tabernacle on behalf of the Israelites and make sacrifices to purify the people, so no plague will strike them when they approach the sanctuary. So Moses, Aaron, and the whole community of Israel dedicated the Levites, carefully following all the instructions, the Lord's instructions to Moses. The Levites purified themselves from sin and washed their clothes, and Aaron lifted them up and presented them to the Lord as a special offering. He then offered a sacrifice to purify them and make them right with the Lord. After that, the Levites went into the tabernacle to perform their duties, assisting Aaron and his sons. So they carried out all the commands that the Lord gave Moses concerning the Levites. The Lord also instructed Moses, "This is the rule the Levites must follow. They must begin serving in the tabernacle at the age of 25, and they must retire at the age of 50. After retirement, they may assist their fellow Levites by serving as guards at the tabernacle, but they may not officiate in the service. This is how you must assign the duties to the Levites." Chapter 9, and this is the second Passover. A year after Israel's departure from Egypt, the Lord spoke to Moses in the wilderness of Sinai. In the first month of that year, he said, "Tell the Israelites to celebrate the Passover at the prescribed time, at twilight, on the 14th day of the first month. Be sure to follow all my decrees and regulations concerning this celebration." So Moses told the people to celebrate the Passover in the wilderness of Sinai as twilight fell on the 14th day of the month, and they celebrated the festival there, just as the Lord had commanded Moses. But some of the men had been ceremonially defiled by touching a dead body, so they could not celebrate the Passover that day. They came to Moses and Aaron that day and said, "We have become ceremonially unclean by touching a dead body, but why should we be prevented from presenting the Lord's offering at the proper time with the rest of the Israelites?" Moses answered, and I love this, "Wait here until I have received instructions for you from the Lord." There's Moses again, going on behalf of his people, of the people that he loves, of the people that he's leading, going before the Lord on their behalf. This was the Lord's reply to Moses: "Give the following instructions to the people of Israel. If any of the people now or in future generations are ceremonially unclean at Passover time because of touching a dead body, or if they are on a journey and cannot be present at the ceremony, they may still celebrate the Lord's Passover. They must offer the Passover sacrifice 1 month later at twilight on the 14th day of the second month. They must eat the Passover lamb at that time with bitter salad greens and bread made without yeast. They must not leave any of the lamb until the next morning, and they must not break any of its bones. They must follow all the normal regulations concerning the Passover." Now see, the Lord did not change the rules. He did not allow something that was ceremonially, that is so hard to say, ceremonially unclean to be brought into something that was sacred and something that was holy and in this celebration, because he had already laid the rules. But he made another way. He made a way for them to still be able to celebrate the Passover, and that would still be honored. But those who neglect to celebrate the Passover at the regular time, even though they are ceremonially clean and not away on a trip, will be cut off from the community of Israel. If they fail to present the Lord's offering at the proper time, they will suffer the consequences of their guilt. And if foreigners living among you want to celebrate the Passover to the Lord, they must follow these same decrees and regulations. The same laws apply both to native-born Israelites and to the foreigners living among you. And remember I told you that Numbers can be very fun to read with all the numbers, but there's so much excitement in it too. And here we go, the fiery cloud. On the day the tabernacle was set up, the cloud covered it. But from evening until morning, the cloud over the tabernacle looked like a pillar of fire. This was the regular pattern At night, the cloud covered At night, the cloud that covered the tabernacle had the appearance of fire. Whenever the cloud lifted from over the sacred tent, the people of Israel would break camp and follow it. And wherever the cloud settled, the people would set up camp. In this way, they traveled and camped at the Lord's command wherever he told them to go. Don't you want to be traveling at the Lord's command? Don't you want to set up camp at the Lord's command? Don't you want to just abide in the Lord? Then they remained there in their camp as long as the cloud stayed over the tabernacle. If the cloud remained over the tabernacle for a long time, the Israelites stayed and performed their duty to the Lord. Sometimes the cloud would stay over the tabernacle for only a few days, so the people would stay for only a few days as the Lord commanded. Then at the Lord's command, they would break camp and move. They would move on. Sometimes the cloud stayed only overnight and lifted the next morning. But day or night, when the cloud lifted, the people broke camp and moved on. Whether the cloud stayed above the tabernacle for 2 days, a month, or a year. Now that tells you that there was time that was taken. There was a long time that they would have at times, or a year. The people of Israel stayed in camp and did not move on. But as soon as it lifted, they broke camp and moved on. So they camped or traveled at the Lord's command, and they did whatever the Lord told them through Moses. Okay, join me again tomorrow. We're going to begin in chapter 10. I cannot wait to do this because 10, 11, 12, there's something exciting in each chapter that I just absolutely love. So make sure you come back tomorrow for bread, Bible reading every day at Just Direction. I'll see you. Bye-bye.